Have you ever felt like a complete stranger in your own home? I'm living on borrowed time now. You see, the doctors gave me until 2025 to live.
Hi, I'm 81 years old. My name is Vincent, and I'm here to tell you to stop. I have been to the end of that road you're on, the one paved with some days and once I make enoughs. Trust me, it's empty. It's a hollow, wind-swept peak where you realize you traded your only life for a collection of status symbols that won't even fit in your coffin. The doctors told me 18 months ago that I wouldn't live past 2025. It is now January 2026. I am breathing on borrowed time, a ghost in a suit, looking back at a man I no longer recognize. I spent 60 years believing a series of beautifully packaged lies. Here is the one that will hurt the most. When you die, it won't matter how many people attend your funeral. It won't matter how many likes your memorial post gets. What matters is how many of those people will actually miss your presence at the dinner table tonight. And right now, for most of you, the answer is no one, because you aren't even at the table. You're in your phone, you're in your head, you're in the future. You are living a life that ensures your legacy will be a bank balance and a stack of unread emails. If you died tomorrow, the world would replace your productivity in a heartbeat, but your family would be left with a stranger's shadow. I'm here to tell you how I lost 50 years chasing a ghost and how I finally started living when they told me I was dying.
I was a high-powered attorney. In the 1980s and 90s, I was the man everyone wanted to be. I made partner by 35, which was unheard of at my firm. I had the mahogany desk, the corner office with the floor-to-ceiling view of the city skyline, and a car that cost more than my father made in a decade of hard labor. I thought I had hacked the system. I thought I was winning the game of life. But the biggest lie I told myself, and the one you are telling yourself right now as you sit in traffic or stare at your laptop, is this: I have time. I'll take that trip later. I'll play with the kids after this project is done. I'll tell her I love her when things slow down. Let me save you 60 years of agony. Things never slow down. The goalposts are on wheels. Life doesn't have a pause button that you can hit until you're ready. You hit the target, and your brain immediately moves the target another 100 yards back. You make $100,000, you need $200,000. You buy the house, you need the renovation. You get the promotion, you need the seat on the board. It is a hamster wheel designed to keep you running until your heart gives out. For me, that happened at 61. I was in the middle of a closing argument for a multi-million-dollar case. I was winning. I could feel the jury in the palm of my hand. I was a god in that courtroom. Then, a sensation like a hot iron being driven through my ribs. I felt my lungs tighten. But do you know what I did? I kept talking. I was so addicted to the win that I prioritized a legal argument over my own survival. I finished the argument, I won the case, and then I collapsed in the parking lot next to my expensive German car, clutching a briefcase full of papers that suddenly meant absolutely nothing. When I woke up in the ICU, surrounded by machines that beeped to remind me I was still tethered to this earth, I didn't think about the millions I just won. I didn't think about the praise from the senior partners. I looked at my wife, Sarah. She was sleeping in a plastic chair, her head tilted at an uncomfortable angle. She looked so much older than I remembered. In that moment, I realized I had missed the transition of her face from youth to middle age. I was there for the mortgage payments, but I wasn't there for the life. I was a ghost in her world, a provider of bank statements, but a thief of shared moments. We live in an age of what I call the digital trap. You are obsessed with building a personal brand or an online presence. You spend hours curating a life that you aren't actually living. You are filming the concert instead of hearing the music.
You are photographing the sunset instead of feeling the wind on your face. You're checking your notifications at dinner, looking for validation from strangers, while the person who actually loves you is sitting 3 feet away, feeling invisible. I see my grandchildren doing it. They're 22 and 25, beautiful, brilliant kids, yet they're constantly stressed about their reach and their social status. They're chasing clout, the most worthless, volatile currency ever invented by man. I tell them, I had clout. I had the respect of every judge in the state. I had a reputation that would make you weep with envy. And yet, lying in that hospital bed, none of it could hold my hand. None of it could tell me a joke. None of it could forgive me for the years I spent being busy. Success in the modern world is a terrible goal because it's a baseline drug. You achieve, you plateau, you need more. You are trading your biological gold, your limited hours and minutes, for digital copper. You are worried about an algorithm that doesn't know you exist, while ignoring the biological algorithm of life that is ticking down every single second. Think about your phone for a second. It gives you the illusion of connection, but it's actually a wall. It's a barrier between you and the raw, messy, beautiful reality of being human. I spent 30 years looking at files. You're spending 30 years looking at a screen. Different medium, same mistake. We are both avoiding the present because the present requires us to be vulnerable. It requires us to face the fact that we are temporary. My mother died when I was 53. We had what people call a complicated relationship, which is really just a coward's way of saying I was too stubborn to apologize and too busy to visit. I thought we would fix it someday. I thought there would be a magical window of time where I wasn't trying to make partner or win a case, and we would sit down and talk through the years of silence. She died on a Tuesday. I was in a deposition, grilled a witness for 8 hours. I saw her name pop up on my phone 3 times during the day. I didn't answer because I was in the zone. I was being productive. She was calling to say goodbye. I spent 20 years carrying that Tuesday around like a backpack full of stones. Your regrets in life will not be your failures. You won't care about the business that went bankrupt or the investment that soured. You won't care about the times you looked stupid or the times you lost. You will care about the Sunday afternoons you spent checking email instead of kicking a ball with your son. You will care about the I love you that stayed trapped behind your teeth because you were too proud to say it first. I have a friend, a brilliant man, a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. He worked 80-hour weeks for 40 years. He built an empire that spans 3 continents. He died 5 years ago at 74. At his funeral, his daughter, a woman I've known since she was a baby, didn't talk about his empire. She didn't mention the billions. She said, "My father was a very successful man to the world, but to me, he was a stranger who lived in my house. I have more memories of his assistant than I do of him." Is that the legacy you want? To be a legend in the boardroom and a ghost at the dinner table? To have your name on a building, but not in the hearts of your own children? There's an ancient concept called Memento Mori. It means remember that you will die. In the West, we are terrified of death. We hide it. We put it in nursing homes and sterile hospitals with white curtains. We use plastic surgery and filters to pretend it's not coming for us. We live as if we are the first generation in human history to be immortal. But death is the only promise life keeps. It is the great equalizer. It doesn't care about your bank account, your followers, or your to-do list. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Truly, close them. Imagine you are 81, like me. Imagine the doctors have given you the date. You're looking at the calendar, and the X is circling a day very, very close to today. Your body is tired. Your breath is shallow. Now look back at your life today, the life you are living right this second.
Does that argument you had with your spouse this morning over the laundry really matter? Does the fact that you didn't get that shout-out on social media matter? Does your boss's ego or your coworker's gossip matter? No. What matters is the feeling of the sunlight on your skin, the taste of a cold glass of water when you're thirsty, the sound of someone you love laughing in the other room, the fact that you can still draw a deep breath into your lungs. I'm 81. I've been on borrowed time since my heart attack and my cancer diagnosis. But I'll tell you a secret. These last 20 years have been the only years I was actually alive. Before that, I was just a highly paid machine. After I survived that first heart attack, I burned my old life down. Not because I was angry, but because I was finally awake. I quit the firm. I sold the house that was far too big for 2 people and cost a fortune to maintain. I stopped trying to impress people who didn't even like me. And then I did the hardest thing I've ever done. I called my son. We hadn't spoken in 2 years. It wasn't a big fight. It was just a slow drift of busyness. I didn't call him to give him advice. I didn't call him to tell him what to do with his life. I called him to say, I'm sorry. I was a great lawyer, but I was a mediocre father. I prioritized my ego over our bond. Can we start over? It took time. It took a lot of humility, but today he is my best friend. I know his kids. I know what they're afraid of. I know what makes them laugh. That is my real empire. If you want to live a life without regret, you have to start being radically present. Stop trading your health for your career. Your company will have your job posting on LinkedIn before your obituary is even printed. Your family, however, can never replace you. If you died tomorrow, your desk would be occupied by Monday. Your seat at the table, that stays empty forever. Stop putting off joy. If there is a trip you want to take it now. Don't wait for the perfect financial quarter. If there is a person you want to kiss them. If there is a hobby you think is pointless, do it. I started painting at 65. I am objectively terrible at it. But when I paint with my granddaughter, the world stops. There is no past, no future, no cancer, no death. There is only the blue paint and her smile. The power of no. Start saying no to obligations that drain your soul. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Stop going to networking events with people you don't like to talk about, things you don't care about. Your time is your only non-renewable resource. Stop spending it like it's infinite. The perfect time will never come. You think you're waiting for the right moment, for the kids to be older, for the market to stabilize, for the promotion to land. But the moment is waiting for you to realize it's already here. Life is messy, it's inconvenient, it's full of bills, headaches, and unexpected rain. If you wait for the calm, you will die in the storm. I'm 81. My time is measured in weeks now, maybe months if I'm lucky. I am here in January 2026 to tell you that the world didn't end because I stopped working 80 hours a week. The sun still rose. The legal system didn't collapse. My bank account is smaller, but my soul is massive. Every morning I wake up, I look at the light coming through the window, and I say, thank you for one more. You have been given a gift that I am running out of today. Don't scroll it away. Don't work it away. Don't hate it away. Who do you need to call? What do you need to forgive? Where do you need to go? Do it today, not tomorrow, not next year, not someday. Someday is a graveyard where dreams go to rot. I don't care about your likes. I don't care about the algorithm. I am a dying man talking to a living one. I want you to do one thing after this video ends. Put your phone down.
walk into the next room or pick up the phone and tell someone you love them. Not a text with an emoji, a real voice, a real hug. And then I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, if this was my last week on this planet, would I be doing what I'm about to do next? If the answer is no, change your life. Do it now, because the clock is ticking for both of us, but you still have time to make it count. What are you going to do with your one precious, limited, beautiful life? The world is waiting. Don't let it wait until the X is on your calendar. I'm Vince, and I'm finally home.